has the new offense been more challenging than you expected mentally?
No, I don't think so. I think, like anything, there's nuances to certain things, and I think I mentioned this to you guys, I can't remember when, but there's certain plays where it's a similar play to what I've run before, but we're teaching it differently, or we're reading it differently, and sometimes I gotta shut that out of my head and just listen to Kyle and Val and say, this is how they want it done, just do it that way, don't revert to old habits. And so I think, things like that, we really talk about footwork here more so than any other place I've been. So, for me, that's something I'm always trying to improve on, because I tend to get tall and stiff-legged sometimes, and I try to, want to keep a more athletic base. So, I mean, like I said, there's always room to improve, and anytime you're not coming out of the game 100% completion and touchdowns right and left, there's obviously room to improve.
I know your approach isn't going to change Monday night, but do you think the decision on who's going to start Week 1 comes down to Monday night?
You'd have to ask Coach Penton on that.
Have you already started to see the benefits of having Grossman here for you?
Yeah, for me, I think it's great, because it's learning it from a coach is great, because they're telling you, okay, watch this film, but Rex has played in the system. So, like, even today on a play I had back there, I was like, on that play, have you ever come off and be worried about something, a backside corner? He's like, no, it's not, so to have a guy who has played the position in this system, I think is huge for not just me, but the entire room, because he can relate it from a playing level. I think there's a big difference between someone who's played in it and someone who's coaching it.
Did it ever cross your mind to ask why didn't they sign him in May or something?
I thought, when I first met him, I thought you'd be here a lot sooner. Yeah. Like I said, I think if anything, for me, it's another guy to lean on. Like I said, it's always good to talk to the coach about it, but sometimes when you got a guy who's actually played and been there when the live bullets are firing, it's good to see his perspective on things.
Hey Brian, when you were with New England, did you get much practice time, even in training camp, or did Tom Brady want all the snaps like Peyton does?
Yeah, there was times where I got thrown out of the huddle by Tom, but training camp is training camp, I think, for everyone, and so you'd always get a lot of reps, and then I think, like any other place, once the season rolls around, the starter needs to take the reps, so that really prepared me as a player to take a lot of mental reps.
Hey Brian, there seems to be an inevitability that Johnny is going to be the starter for this team at some point. Has that been hard for you to deal with?
I haven't heard that, so no, not really.
If things work out for you and you have to look ahead, playing the full schedule, are there things you're doing now to hold up through 16 games?
Yeah, I mean, there's the maintenance of my knee. Obviously, it's almost a daily process where it's kind of a rotation. So I don't know, sometimes you see me out there doing band dropbacks to build up my leg and core in the movements that I'll be doing in the game. Other days with the lifting, other days with ART, massage, things like that. So it's kind of crazy for me. I was always a guy who never had to do anything because I've never been hurt. So now I've kind of done a complete 180 where I'm constantly doing something to maintain strength, flexibility, all those things, because I think sometimes when you have an injury, it exposes some weaknesses that you might have, and we've really done a good job of trying to stay on top of that.
Hey, Brian, the Browns don't see a lot of national TV. Is there excitement with that, with Monday night, albeit preseason, and adding to the competition?
I mean, for me, I don't really look into it. I think this whole situation, has brought a lot of attention to our team in this city, which I think is always a good thing, but I'm so far removed from that it's not even a concern of mine.
Were you at all surprised that you are starting the second game, even though you consider yourself a starter? It appeared that each guy would get a game.
No, I think it's what I've expected all along, and really, it wouldn't have changed my approach either way. I think for me, I approach my job this year a little bit differently because I can be more vocal. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but in the past, I've always prepared like I was a starter. So, those decisions are out of my control, and I just kind of do what I'm told.
When Rex was signed, it started a whole bunch of internet stuff and talk radio that maybe you were expendable trade. Did you get wind of that, and did you have any reaction to it?
I didn't. So, I was told about it later. I guess, people were trying to connect the dots, and that's your job to do that. But for me, I'm not concerned about anything like that. I'm looking forward to being a starting quarterback here. Thanks.